guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here, 71 Super Beetle. Yes, hopefully you're tuning into this episode if you watched the last episode, which should have been the first episode, and this is episode 2. This one, hopefully, is going to go smooth and not be a part 3. Putting in a radio. I did get one in. The owner did pick one up that he wanted installed, and I was going to do it in the last episode or put it in, except, well, the dash has been cut. So we had to go a little workaround and get a different radio. That came in, so hence part 2. We'll throw a radio in this thing, hopefully take this thing on a test drive. I got to balance the front wheels because the owner said that there's like an imbalance. And also I'll bring it around rear because I haven't seen this car in about, I don't know, a year and a half. Last time I was on the channel was literally the last time I saw this car. And, well, shows how, you know, I guess reliable old cars are. They will run. This one was actually running broken. Let me bring it around back and we'll start there with my little diagnostic because I had to throw some parts in it to fix something. So join me in the back. All right, guys, you join me in the back of the car. Well, the reason we're starting back here is because I did off work progress, like I normally do. Stuff that I thought was just going to be non-consequential, adjust valves, because, well, I've done this on every car, every channel. I wasn't trying to make this into a complete repair thing because, well, sitting in front of the car, haven't seen this car in about a year and a half. The last time I was on the channel was the last time I was here. So, didn't notice in the engine run video or, you know, getting these gauges working. Valve train was a little clackety. I didn't like it. It wasn't starting exactly how I wanted it. So, all right, check valves. We'll just do that. But the problem was I went to go check timing. That light was, my light was just erroneous. It was all over the place. Couldn't get a timing. Nothing was jiving correctly to me with my timing light. So, I'm like, all right. And, well, the ones I use, well, here, I'll just grab the broken one. Mine are dial backs. You've seen it many times, so I can set the timing where I want it, and then I can nail that center line. Well, I set the timing where I want it on this, so say 10 degree. Dial in 10 degree, that line all over the place, or it'd stay, hang. I couldn't get it to do anything. So, like any good idiot, yeah, I didn't care if I threw it that time. We also have a spare. I buy spares, because these things make me money. Threw that on. Timing was still kind of doing the same thing, except now I can move the line. I'm like, still not right. You put it to, you know, 7, 7.5, whatever, 10 degree. I usually 7 to 10. If it's running premium. Base time. Set it there. Well, guess what? It didn't want to run. Something was not right. Then I couldn't get it to dial. So I went over to the thing. What? Well, it was a Revival 2. Went over to the thing and double checked timing on that. With the new gun to confirm. New gun is working. Timing exactly where I set it on that one. Nothing major. I think it was like maybe a degree off, and by that I mean I might have had my head a little off to the notch. So I knew timing light was checking out on a vehicle that I knew timing light was checking out on. So I go to self. We have an electronic distributor in this thing. Where the hell is it? .009. I love them. I run them. Notice there's a vacuum on this now. Also because we got a 34 pick. Pop the cover. Cap looked good. Rotor looked fine. I am going to save this distributor because the distributor itself is good. What I noticed when I looked in, number one, this is why I stopped running this style rotor clamp. I don't know if it'll pick up in there. Maybe. It's cracked. So I was not getting a consistent, basically when they crack, the magnets move, and you're not getting a consistent arc, so it sounds like there's a freaking cam in the damn thing. But it will run. like I said, these donut styles I hate. They used to be, say, the go-to. Petronics, I think, runs them. I'm pretty sure Petronics still runs them, and I hate Petronics now. Yeah, just garbage. I run the, whatever the hell I run, the MP style electronics. Actually what's in that one, because I double checked it, because they are the same distributors, and I thought I did the same thing. I thought I had the donut style in that, because usually when you get a 009 electronic, you get the donut style. How the hell does this go back together? Open that one up. It's the disc. If you watch my videos, you know which electronics I use. But not junk distributor, junk electronic unit. So I pulled it, put a vac advance on it, got that all dialed in, new carburetor. One reason I did new carburetor is this engine does have a cam in it. Just the way it runs. It doesn't like a 7.5, it doesn't like a 10, it likes about a 12-degree advance on the idle to get it smoothed out. Which isn't terrible. Like I said, it's running pretty premium. It's not going to burn up. It's not going to run that hot or anything like that. So we just changed up the setup. It runs better. It's a little more snappy, because it was running the 30 pick. Wherever the hell I threw that. I honestly don't know where the hell I put it. Anyway, obviously we took off the old carb and put a 34 pick on. Completely fine. So the engine fires up, it key bumps, it does everything I like it to do, and it's not as clattery. I don't know why we're back here other than me just rambling. I did some off-camera progress, and I'm sorry I didn't get the diagnostic. Now I guess what we're going to do is climb in the car and start ripping this thing apart and put a radio in. I got a, like I said, the owner picked up one, and it will not work because the factory motorcycle. The factory knobs, they have to slot into the dash. Well, so I did the right thing, went on Amazon, got a retro style Bluetooth, smaller, so on and so forth. I'll show you the one he got. I think he got it from like Classic Sound or something like that. Digidial, yeah, custom auto sound. Oh. There. So he went with the, the OG style radio. It's a non-caged unit. And what I mean by cage is cage holds the head unit in. So this is a non-cage unit. It relies on the knobs themselves, like a factory radio, to hold itself into the dash. Unfortunately, someone cut the dash in this thing because, well, we had the 1980s, 1990s pull-out radio. I wish it had that, but this isn't going to work, unfortunately. So, next best option is a different option. We're going to throw that in, throw some speakers in, and then hopefully bounce some tires and go on the road. Also, I'm hoping this doesn't take that long. Actually, brain idea. I wonder if the guy, dude with the thing wants a modern radio. Because he does have, it's funny that this car's here, he does have the OG unit right here, boop, boop. And that's what I'm talking about. It mounts with the knobs in this thing. So if he wants an aftermarket radio, we might have one for sale. But all right, I guess we'll start under the hood. It is a mess because, well, my cleaning ability between scenes and doing stuff is shut the hood. Move the lights, shut the hood. Still a mess from doing the fuel. But yeah, move the light, shut the hood. Did my outro and intros. But we are after that. Ooh, strawberry. Can you guys see? You probably can't. Yeah, like I said, this is like the old school 1980s. I got the light in my way. 1980s head unit that actually pulls out. So we got to pull the cage. I think I have a new antenna laying somewhere too. Pull the cage, pull all this wiring. Like, this did have a radio. The problem being is nothing's connected anymore. So I don't have speaker wires. So we're going to have to run speaker wires. These are wires cut. These are wires cut. The greens, and there should be grays. They've all been standardized. Of course, the only wires I pinch are the ones for the radio and the grays. So yeah, this guy is just a complete dud. Then we got these two wires. I'm going to back probe them and see if they do what they're supposed to do, and we're going to reuse them because that's power and key on and 12 volt. And if I don't have to play around with getting into here, I'm not going to. Where's my test light? I think I use it to set timing. All right, red should be on all the time, I think. Red is not. Yellow is on all the time. Yes, yellow is on all the time. Red should be key on. There's a fuse here, so I mean we can just probe the fuse. Nothing. Can I wiggle in through the vent window? Oh, I'm not even going to call myself the Olympic champ of limbo. Is that on? Yep. All right, so key on. So indeed, these two wires we're just going to reuse. Everything else can just go away. Let me fix this end because it is annoying me. I know, my OCD is amazing to the point where, well, I can't stay focused. We still got to put the airbox in and all this stuff for the drip tray. I'll be back. All right, guys, first thing we are going to do, or I am going to do, is take out the, wow, excuse me. Take two. All right, guys, first thing I'm going to do, red and yellow, boink, because they're connected, we're going to save them. Let's move them out of the way. We're working this hot. There's a black wire somewhere. You're going all the way that way. We're going to assume you have a good ground as well. And boop, ground wire. The rest of this is garbage. I'm going to yank this cage out. Try to bring you around. Will you stay open? No? Roll down the window. Schmood! There you go. All right. Let's try to rip out this head unit. I don't know what I'm going to need. Probably a screwdriver. Probably a hammer. Maybe a new priest and an old priest. Let's find out. Oh. Yeah, the cage is fairly simple. It just depends on, like, I'm gonna need a pick. Just gotta bend those tabs back out. And then that cage should just come out. Expertly positioned on the floor. Yeah, there's all these little tabs, holders. Just gonna bend them out of the way. Wonder if this was a Kenwood, a Pioneer. Those are all in. That one's bent. Kind of. Bend you out. Bend you out. Out. I'm hoping I don't have to do too much customization on this dash and that head unit just kind of pops in. There we go. All right, old head unit. Holder. Why are you still stuck? Is that one in the corner? I think I'm going to have to lower my radio. Frank is a little loud. Yeah, one side free. Where'd that knob go? It's on the floor. Stuck right in this corner. I mean, we're not using it. I can be a little aggressive with it. There we go. The one thing I don't want to do is to pry on the actual, dash. Just because when you do that, you can crack it. And I don't want to crack it. But yeah, old school. You would slide in and make connection with the junction thingy in the back. Pretty cool. All right, let's get the new cage. And lower the radio. All right, new head unit. Oh. Let's get the cage out of it. There's tools that you slide in and it pops the retainers, but well, I have them. But see, now I can, well, obviously access it right now. We're not going to use them. They're just little spring clips that are bent down. Oops. Like so. And I'll just slide this in unit out, or the retainer out. Just stuck on the back. There we go. There we go. So, new. Let it slide into there. Click, click, done. Let me slide this in. Not put the cage yet. Put the head unit. Not absolutely, perfect, but it looks a heck of a lot better. Like I said, someone cut all this the plastic around it, so it is kind of what it is, but like I said, it looks a lot better. I'm going to do the right thing, and actually I have some flat black. There's a bunch of exposed. I'm just going to touch that up real quick, just so it's not as noticeable when you're looking at it, because someone looks like they used a beaver to chew this out. Let me touch this up and I'll be right back. Wow, words. Okie dokies. That's touched up. I just went in with a brush, just went around it. Let's get this cage in. Did I make it absolutely perfect? Of course not. Did I make it good enough? Of course I did. Now, same way that I removed the old cage, I'm going to install this cage. Basically bend all those tabs. Make sure this thing's flush or tight. I'll just bend those tabs in. So it's going to hold it. These upper ones. If I can. Yep, that one went in. That was good. These lowers. Bring these guys in and, just do this jiggle test. Little rock, but it's not going to go anywhere once that head unit goes in. Head unit. Then insert into hole. Boink. Head unit installed. Let's go back to the front and do some wiring. Oop, let me put that knob on before I forget about it. There. Oh, this knob's broken, that's why. All right, let's go to the front. All righty. Join me back under here. Put that there. Let me double check that China's wiring is what I need, or the way that they wired this radio is what I need, because I can't remember. Let's see. Yellow is constant. Pretty sure that was what we had. Let's do the right thing, actually, sort of first. And that ground wire that I cut, let's make sure it's a ground. Or make sure it's a good ground. Active, if you will. All right, what the hell did I say? Yellow should be 12 all the time. Yes, all right. So I'm gonna do something I barely do, and that's solder. That'll be plenty long enough. Come on, itch. We can shrink these wires some. I know, electrical. So much fun. Yeah, the only real reason I checked the wiring, just double checked it anyway, was because, well, everything's wired in red, and I want to make sure that this is going to be correct. Because as much as I hate doing electrical and wiring, I'm doing this, so I'd rather it, you know, not burn the car down. And also have the radio function as it's intended to. Judging by the amount of wires that are in here and the lengths and the runs, the other person wasn't too concerned about doing stuff. Here to here. That's excessive. Cut this back a little bit more, and then we'll glue those together. I don't care if I have a little bit longer wires or a little bit longer wires. I just don't want them, maybe I should turn that on. I just, you know, don't want them to the moon. Huge, if you will. Don't spark, you're now on a gas tank. I also hate soldering. I think I've said this in multiple videos. And it's still true. You know, soldering's like welding. No matter how many times you do it, doesn't matter if you get good results or not, there's always going to be a critic telling you you're doing it wrong. And you know what? If it works, I don't care. Heat shrink. I very rarely, like I said, I very rarely solder. I do it on certain things. Other things, crimp connectors work. There's the light. Again, this is why we test, because I know I tested this one from the fuse, but I don't know what this guy does. And it's not attached to anything. Are you key on? I mean, it would have to be. Yeah. I'll actually run this one just because I have more wire. And having a fuse in line doesn't matter because, I mean, the radio head unit itself is fused. Yeah, that's weird. We can get rid of this. That's extra. Like I said, we'll run this guy. Same thing, I'll just use the yellow wire as the give or take datum line of how big I gotta cut this one. Okay. another freaking joint. That a do, pig? Is that a do? Black is ground. I would say obvious, but you never know. I've gotten, any of these aftermarket kits that you usually get. It's a crapshoot on what colors mean. I've had it to where blue is ground. I've had it where yellow is ground. It's just, I guess dealer's choice on what amount of supplier gave them more that month. We'll go there, that's fine. I don't care if the ground's a little long. Shrinky dinks. Yeah, having the ground a little long doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Mainly because I don't feel like reaching so far. I know, I'm a bit lazy when it comes to that. Shit! Well, good thing it's a ground, because we're just going to electrical tape it. Told you, forget them. Son of a... Liquid electrical tape. It's quite fantastic. But yeah, I think I've said this before. If liquid electrical tape, if that was a positive, well, I'd be cutting it and resoldering it. But see, now it's a ground, I can't really screw anything up. All right, now I have to get this to plug in over there. Stay. I don't think it, well, if the car's on locks, the car can go down. Let me shut this off. Car's on locks, it could go down, but the switch is closer over here. The plug's closer over here. Clunk, that's in. We'll clean up those wires. Make them, tucked up and a little bit better. All right, let's go around. See real time if this thing lights up. Obviously, there's not going to be any sound because we didn't do that part of it yet. But that thing should turn on and hopefully not explode when I turn the key. I pop that head unit out. I'm gonna have to tighten the cage a little bit. Key. It's on. I don't know if it picks up, but turns on. Tells me to do things, so we'll worry about that in a second. But it works. Now let's pop this radio out again and tighten the cage some more. But yeah. Kicks on, turns on, so on and so forth. We're gonna have to set things and do stuff. Hi, hello. Tune. Oh, it does colors. Cool. FM, 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 FM. How do you... What was that? TR, B, F, equalizer. Standard, DX. I don't know. Tuner, radio. All right. We'll mess around with it in a minute. Now I got to run some speaker wire. The reason, well, I didn't obviously put, well, now it's probably be obvious why I didn't put stuff back together. It's because I got to run some wire. And if I had it when I had to run an attack wire, Well, I would have just did it then, but I didn't have it. So, all I'm going to do, I'm going to get the damn stuff. All I'm going to do is the same thing I did with the tack. I'm just going to put 2 speakers on the, where the package tray would be. They're just enclosed speakers, you know, nothing fancy. Ply units, I think they are. But let me run this cable. Let go. Let me run this cable, and we'll join, when I get back up here, we'll just join all the stuff, and hopefully we'll have a radio. I don't know well how, all right, let's do this. Ran the wire. This is left side, that's right side. I put tape on that. But I don't know how well this is going to solder, because I've had problems before where speaker wire is sometimes a pain in the butt. I don't know. I can't tell if this is copper, if it's the aluminum style. If it's the aluminum style, it solders like garbage. Turn you back on. But we will find out. Should sound fine. So let's see, front, left. Yeah, I'm working left, so front left would be white. I was holding it in my hand and still looking for it at the same time. All right. This I do want to make sure I get not forget heat shrink. Main reason, man, I can make these smaller. Main reason is, well, if you ground it out, you're going to lose signal. If you ever have like a radio that cuts out a bunch, it's usually because you got a bad connection. Or at least in my experience it is. Yeah, for some reason I thought this was the that aluminum wire. And that stuff, like I said, I've had hit and misses on getting that stuff to solder. Actual copper, I don't really have a problem with. Tin it. We tin it some. Yes. All right, now whiten the other strip. White or black strip would be the negative side. Soldered, done. Boop. That vent has to go back. Boop. This guy will plug back in. Get out of there. That's for that box. Installed. That's for that box still. I'll actually go under and over. All right, back. Let's get those speakers. This is going exponentially longer like I normally, would think it would, because nothing goes easy. Speaker's going to be simple. Luckily, well, radio's done. I don't know if it works. I need to know if it works, so the way I need to, and I don't have spare speakers, I guess is what I'm getting at. So the way I can test it is just buy cheap speakers, and if he wants them, I'll leave them in the car. If he doesn't want them, I'll take them out of the car. Doesn't matter to me. These are simple, just twist the ends, or, you know, and push them in. Boop. Connected, connected. And then gently install that over there. Same thing with this. Fix the end a little bit. Excuse me. I am hoping the cold weather is over with. Like I said, I wasn't going to invest in, you know, like a $400 speakers. Because, like I said, he just told me to run the wires. All right, we got to figure out how to get this antenna out. I do have another one buried in here. Wire. Owner supplied it, so I mean, it looks right, but then again, you never know. So, also, before I even start on this, paint's already whacked here, so I didn't do it. And that nut is already gnarled pretty bad. So we are going to try to get this thing off. Like I said, if I got to cut this thing off, I will. Alrighty, now we just gotta get this out. It's gonna be fun because it doesn't retract. Well, seeing I'm in a cutting mood, let's just cut that. I'll worry about feeding a new one up. We can figure out the struggle bus in a minute. All right. Antenna, or what's left of it. Yeah, like I said, that collet, everything was just all exploded. Everything is rotating. So garbage. New antenna. Do I even need this on this one? No. We'll see if we actually might have to modify the new one. Yay. Okie dokes. Also, because I'm old, I like instructions. Because I have no idea how any of this works. Put that back. Put that back. Ugh. I got static. So that's good. All right. Let's put up the old antenna. Try that scan. Oh yeah. Is it amazingly loud? No. It sounds like with an engine. It needs up front speakers. I mean, I can hear the tunes. All right, guys. Well, car's on the ground. Did balance the tires. Didn't show it. I mean, how exciting is that? If you want to see how to balance tires, well, watch some of my other videos I did it, and you're going to need a machine. It's not a backyard thing, I guess is what I'm saying. It's not a bubble or whatever. I might show how to do that in another video. But anywho's, let's get this thing on the road. The owner's actually coming today to pick this thing up because I am, I don't know, confident? I don't know how to say that. All right. Give it a pump and turn. Sounds good. Gauge is all working, voltmeter's working, oil pressure's working, tach's working. My foot's on the gas, we're doing about 1,500. There we go, 1,000. Temp gauge is, like I said, gonna do whatever the temp gauge is gonna do. Radio works, obviously. We're gonna have to do something about the radio just because it's, they're only playing through 4-inch speakers, 3.5-inch speakers. It's as loud as it can go. Also, I'll show you on the big cam before I wrap this video up. I did throw a amp under here. So the amp also, I had it laying around actually, believe it or not. The amp also has Bluetooth, and the Bluetooth, if you Bluetooth your digital device through the amp, is actually louder than the radio. Just the way the radio's Bluetooth. The radio is loud, and then the Bluetooth for the same level is not as loud. I don't know if that makes any sense. Maybe. I don't know. Let's get this thing on the road. Really, I want to make sure the engine's running good and that fuel smell's gone. Now that I'm sitting here, I do smell a slight fuel smell, but it might be the roof actually. I'm not sure. We'll see, because everything's been, well, opened up and vented since, since we did this. All right, join me on the road. All right, first off, the car is, feels like it's peppier than I remember it being. So that 34 might have woke it up some. Also the vacuum advance in combination, intermixed with that. I can't move that mirror. It feels like it's going to break, so we're not going to touch it. Yeah, it feels peppier than I remember. So far, no major fuel smell. I did have some in the shop, but well, the heat's on, and recirculation in the engine, I guess, lack of better terms, coming through the heat shield. Are you turning? What are you doing? Or coming through the fan. You know, sucking through into the channels on warm up. Yeah, everything's working. 70 pounds of oil pressure, it looks like. 14 volts. Temperature obviously is, well, doing whatever the temperature is doing. I am sitting way too vertical. I don't think these seats auto. All right, second gear pull from a creep. Nope, doesn't have it. Too slow for the engine. Yeah, I'm not like I said, I'm catching a waft here and there. Unfortunately, that's, I hate saying that, that's like Volkswagens. There's, every line on this engine's new. The only thing it could be is there might be fuel in the tunnel still that has to be, you know, getting out. Has to be able to, you know, evaporate is what I'm getting at. So that's it, but it's not massive, I guess what I'm saying. I'm just noticing it because that's the smell I'm looking for. It doesn't smell anything out of the norm. Like, it doesn't smell like this car smells a lot worse than other cars. Then again, I don't know if I'm catching roof smell or it blowing through the heater channels. Because driving, I don't really smell anything. And if it was coming from the front end, I would just be getting, like, you know, fuely smelled. Fueled? Yeah, I'd just be getting overwhelmed with fumes. Wheel feels completely stable. I mean, that's one finger. No twitching, minus going over bumps. But it's not dancing around. Like I said, the balance was fine. It was just a little low on air pressure and what else? Driver's side wheel, passenger side wheel. Might have a slip belt. Because if you watch it on the machine, you can see there's just a little more run out in the tire than I would like. Yeah, I catch a slight waft every now and then. I don't think it's nearly as bad as it was. But then again, when I'm trying to disturb it going over bumps and stuff. But then again, when the owner dropped it off, he said that his garage is about the size of my first shop, maybe a little smaller, and it will stink that entire stink it up. I keep looking because I don't know if I'm getting wind or what, or streaks, but it looks like I'm smoking. I don't think I am. But yeah, he said it would stink it up with, you know, couldn't even park it in there. I mean, granted, this car's been sitting in the shop all week, and I haven't noticed, you know, the imminent catching on fire smell. Because trust me, I've had walked into the shop where I forget to put a plug in and, you know, drain 5 gallons of fuel on the floor. It's not the best smell. This engine really needs dual carbs. I think the other thing is I'm over-fueling the engine, or I could be over-fueling the engine, and that's some of the smell. Like I said, I don't know if it's coming through the vents or what. All right. Again, driving an old car, you just look broke down when you pull over. Park wherever you want. It just smells oily. I don't know if it picks up in the mic, but I need to dial down that idle some. I got a little spicy. Learn to drive, idiot. I'm the idiot. What the hell's hanging? But, alright. We'll head back to the shop. I'll check it out. Like I said, I don't see any leaks. I know the gas tank is vented. So what I'm thinking is this is residual in the frame. Yeah, other than the high idle, it's running great. Car's still stable. Wind noise I can't help. Yeah, the car. I definitely was only doing the speed limit. But the car was still stable at, say, the speed he was saying that there was a wobble at. So I don't know. Air pressure or a slip belt. Like I said, the pressure was only 20. I bumped up to 28 in the front. Maybe around it, but like I said, whenever I had the it on my balancer, you can see a little bit of run out in the driver's side or passenger side tire. I can't remember at this point. But I do have to drop the idle. Oil pressure going to 0 always concerns me. Engine also doesn't have an idiot light, so who knows. I also don't know if what oil's in this engine. Because I think he said he got to change it, like, you know, a Jiffy Lube or something like that. And fine, I'll go. Got to change it, like, you know, one of the quick lubes. So I don't know what the hell they put in here. I know it's not Rotella, I guess is what I'm getting at. But join me back in the big cam. Yeah, every now and then I just get a slight waft. I'm obviously, we'll let it soak and see what happens, but I think it's just residual in this frame because the that fuel line was just leaking. And it's just every here and there you just catch a whoo. Yeah, not too much of a smell under the hood. Like I said, it's just... thank you. It's just every now and then you just catch a little bit of a foof. So I'm not sure what that's about. Hot start. Runs good. Yeah, I bumped down the idle some. I did not realize my glasses were here the whole time. That works. Like I said, radio's kicking. So... that's all good. Let me get on the big cam and close this one out because, well, I think we're pretty much done here. Everything that I feel I can do on this car is finished. Obviously, there's always work to be done on these things, but for what, like I said, the current owner said he's going to probably do with this is sell it. I just want to make it as best as I can for the new person or the new owner with the budget I guess I was provided. If that makes sense to you guys. Anywho's, join me in Big Cam. I'll take you for a quick tour. I got to show you the amp and just some other odds and ends, I guess. And then I'll wrap up this video. All right, guys. As promised, let me give you a quick tour, if you will. Because I don't know if we ever did a real, say, tour-ish. At least with the wrap-up. Got a marine grade, ply amp under here. 400 watt. Nothing killer. But that's in there, and it also has Bluetooth, because I know the owner was concerned about Bluetooth, and the Bluetooth 30 amp comes through speakers a lot stronger. I am running, you know, I am running small speakers, just because, well, I don't know if you can even see them. They're just tucked down there. You probably can't see them exactly where I put them. They're just Velcroed in. They're not permanent, because I don't know if the owner is going to get, you know, go to an audio shop and actually have holes cut into the wall or stuff like that. It has the capability now of having a really good radio, or subs or whatever, because like I said, I just wanted to add the amp laying around, figured to give them more of a versatile option as far as that goes. But yeah, they're only whatever 3-inch speakers. I think I threw out all the boxes, but yeah, there's 4 of them. They say they're, you know, 400 watt. They're not. Or a 200 watt speaker. I don't know. The radio's fine. It works. It does everything. It Bluetooths. It's happy on that end. There are 2 speakers tucked under the seats. Again, small ones, because I'm not an audio shop and I wasn't going to cut into the door panels to put them in. They do make kicker panels, you know, that go onto, you know, your kicks. I think they hold 6 or 6.5. Those would be good. I've used this radio before. It's not the radio's fault. It's the speaker's fault. But like I said, the problem is I'm not an audio shop. Well, not really a problem. I'm not going to cut into your car to put speakers in. I'll hide them, because originally he just wanted me to run the wiring and, yeah, call it good. I guess put speakers in by himself, or have someone else do it. I guess no one wanted to touch the car as far as running wires and stuff like that, which is fairly understandable. The other thing I was saying is, when I was tuning, I don't know if it'll pick up, but there are 2 holes cut in back there. Let's see if I can get you around. Yeah, down in there. That leads me to believe, again, that this thing did have dual carbs. I'm pretty sure I pointed it out on the first go, that I saw that, and I don't think they're on this side. No holes on. Oop. Yeah, I have a nice ceiling. No holes on that side. But usually when you got them, they're for adjustment screws. I hate doing it. I got that fancy screwdriver, and usually I could just plunge down and adjust them. Engine, like I said, got a 34 on here, and the 09, or not, we got rid of the 09 distributor. It's electronic vac advance. They work well together. The car drove pretty good. Engine leaks oil. Valve covers don't. Did the valves, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's a clean little rig. I don't think I did anything much more than that. Fuel smell, like I said, I don't think I showed it, or I don't think I recorded it. But yes, it does have a new O-ring on the sending unit. So that's new. The sending unit's old. So the only other place it could possibly be leaking is there's a pinhole in the tank that I cannot find. Or through the sending unit where the plugs go in. I don't know. But everything's new. When I popped the trunk, like I said, I think it's just residual. I think there's enough of a leak in there that it's just sloshing around in the frame. So it's going to have to be driven, because, well, the whole underside was wet. So it's going to probably have to work its way out. If it persists, I'll address it again. But yeah, I don't think there's an actual smell other than what I can't get out, which is now living with the car. And also, if it's been leaking that long, for how long, like I said, it's been a while, it could be impregnated in the carpets and stuff like that, and just needs to gas out. So, all right, let me close this thing out. All right, guys, closing out the episode on the 71. I'm pretty sure it's 71 or 72. I can't remember how I introed this. Flat windshield super. Closing this episode out. I think it is solved. Radio works. Like I said, it's not the loudest, but that's due to the speakers. The ramble I just got done with. I don't know why I'm doing an outro, because I kind of already did. But the speakers that are in the car are they just can't do things. They're not orientated right. They're just in there to transfer sound. Like I said, you play through the amp. If you Bluetooth into the amp, it's night and day difference as far as loudness goes. The radio, the output on the actual FM is the equivalent to the output if my phone's attached or Bluetooth to the Bluetooth. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's weird. It's something's just weird. I don't know. It could also be my phone. Whatever. Anywho, engine runs good. Fuel smell, I think it's solved. I think it's just like I just got done saying. I think it's just residual that just needs to gas out. But I did crawl. If you've noticed, I am a little dirtier than when I drove the car. I did crawl under the car to make sure there is no fuel leaks under there, and there are not. The screw, the bung or whatever, that's tight still and not leaking. Also, the fuel line, there's no trace of drip down and then going into the frame rail. That's dry. So I think it's just residual that just needs to work its way out. Seeing how this car hasn't been here in almost 2 years, and if it's been doing it give or take the entire time, that leads me to believe that most likely the car just needs to gas out. Now, if you park your car in the garage, or if you just park your car and you leave your hood shut, well, if it is vaporizing in there, or making a bomb, it's just going to impregnate anything soft. He has carpet under here. If it was metal, probably wouldn't even be a thing so much. But because it's carpet, it just needs to gas out. So, I mean, park your car if you have a fuel smell, open the, pop the trunk and just let it gas out. Also Febreze, make it smell pretty. I could do that, but I'm not trying to hide I'm not trying to hide a smell. If that makes sense. I don't want to add extra fragrances into a car to make it seem like I fixed it just by masking it. I don't do that. If you have a fuel smell, and if it's still going to be a fuel smell, I want it to go away. The tires, like I said, I didn't show it, but they balanced out. You saw it in the video. Hopefully I put it in. It tracks true. No vibration. You said there was a vibration at like 50. I'm not going to say hit that speed or over, but I could not find it. So I think it was, like I said, I think one of the tires is just slightly out of round, might have a slip belt, but they were definitely under pressurized, or not really that much. I think I got 28 in there, just call it 30. One was at like 19, the other was at say 20. So 10 pounds of difference, guys. It actually does make a difference in driving. Tire pressure on these things, it's wild. But with that said, closing out this video. If you like this episode, whatever the hell I decided to edit it to, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you do. I promise you we will chit chat. As always, thanks for watching. Hopefully, see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.